While I typically maintain an objective point of view, this video will present speculative theories and should be regarded as such. I've recently fallen into a new rabbit hole on YouTube, near-death experiences. Despite variations in the stories, recurring themes were too compelling for me to dismiss outright. These individuals often return with specific information seemingly impossible to have known, such as details about the scene of their death. In the majority of cases, people describe observing their surroundings, including their lifeless body.
So I keep trying to get up and try to pull myself as hard. So I use all my force to just pull myself up. And it was like this suction feeling going right out. And I look down and see a body laying right there. And I'm like, that's my body? I'm like, nah, that's my mind messing with me.
If I'm up here and my body is down there and he's calling code blue, I think I just died.
I heard a huge crack. And this big flash of light came out of the phone and hit me right in the face and just threw me back like a rag doll. And I took about 3 steps and I run into myself on the ground.
Upon grasping the situation, people typically encounter a light-made tunnel. Venturing through this tunnel, they reach a place of exquisite beauty, often depicted as fields or grand stone temples. At this juncture, a being, whether a family member or guide, contacts the experiencer.
Then he explained to me that he has to take me now and that we were going for something. And I said, what? He says, we're going for your life review.
And I started to relive my life. It's more than just a review. It's a re-experiencing of your life. And I got to see it from not only my perspective, but everyone I'd ever interacted with.
You re-experience things that you've done to other people. Let's say there's a situation and you were curt or rude to somebody. You're going to feel their hurt feelings, or you're going to feel their joy when you've done something nice.
Finally, the guide informs them it's not their time to pass or provides a choice based on their current life circumstances. While the sources vary in quality, some suggest that aliens perceive humans as containers.
What is your theory of the reasons why aliens come to Earth and leave?
Bob read something really strange and disturbing in the briefings that we have no place to put it, that they referred to human beings as containers, which is the weirdest thing you could ever hear. This is something that was read in the briefings. He has no other information about it.
These beings said that man was the product of externally corrected evolution. They said that man, as a species, had been genetically altered 65 times. They refer to humans as containers, yet I don't know what we're containers of.
Another interesting fact, alien abductees frequently mention the concept of past lives.
And these smaller little beings, they grab me off the table and they lead me to an adjacent room. And in that room, they hand me a small black box and they had me open the box, and inside the box, it just exploded in light. It was like an information download watching 1,000 movies play at once at light speed. And at that point, it brought me to a memory of my own past life, to where I saw my own family die in a car accident, walk up to my own house, and then I shot myself.
In historical context, what were described as angels and demons align with aspects of the phenomenon. Even today, some high-ranking officials who resist disclosure refer to non-human intelligence as demons.
You believer in UFOs, alien life?
No, I don't believe in alien life. I believe that they're demonic, and that they're demonic beings that make an appearance and appear to be real, and they are real. Satan, Bible says Satan can appear as an angel of light. So they can appear, and so nothing human can make a 90-degree turn at 3,000 miles an hour and survive. And so they have these, and I think the purpose is to draw you away from the real God and say, look at us, and this is where you ought to be because we are superhuman.
My perspective differs. I speculate that more evolved life forms might possess a superior understanding of consciousness and the fabric of the universe. Perhaps they view us as actors in a global consciousness.
Hey guys, it's Alyssa Rushton, and I am a near-death survivor. Let's just dive into it. There wasn't a lot of words. There was telepathy, there was imagery and sacred geometry, but I wasn't actually sitting down and having conversations. It was all, blocks of thought, blocks of transmitted data, basically, that I had to then come back here and try to piece together and figure out. And so one of the biggest things that I learned on the other side was that we are here to expand our consciousness, and that our experience basically goes up and informs the consciousness, the bigger consciousness.
One of the best documented cases of face-to-face alien contact occurred in Virginia, Brazil, in 1996. Often referred to as the Virginia UFO incident. It is said that a UFO crashed and live beings escaped, later to be captured by the local military. James Fox, a renowned documentary maker, elaborates on an intriguing aspect of the event.
These two doctors, during a procedure, the creature had a wound somewhere. They were trying to fix it. And all of a sudden, the creature kind of comes more to life. It was alive, but it kind of comes to life, and it communicates with the two doctors telepathically. And apparently the telepathic communication was, I feel sorry for you humans. You have no idea about your potential, who you really are.
I often wonder about the origin of my obsession with this subject. I do recall having a few lucid dreams about the phenomenon, but I can still discern them as dreams. In one of them, I was living in our first house when I was around 10. I remember seeing spaceships landing on the street from our windows. Everyone in the house seemed frozen, but I could still move freely. I forgot about it, but I created a small recreation about 12 years ago. In another one, I was living where I currently am, in a modern condo at the top of a tower. I remember seeing a bright light coming from outside in dead silence. I recall nothing more. The third one felt more fictional. It seemed to take place in the future. I wish I had written that one down on paper, but the gist of it was this. 3 gray aliens came to me to announce their presence on Earth. The beings made requests for us to stop destroying the environment. They didn't seem hostile, but they asserted to me and everyone that they were already present on this planet. Sadly, humanity could not keep up with their demands, so we, as humankind, took off to the woods, abandoning our infrastructure. You're probably wondering where I'm going with this. But bear with me. I will tell you about one last dream not related to the UFO phenomenon. I dreamt of being in my grandmother's house with friends. We were moving furniture out and redecorating. In the dream's conclusion, a friend, while painting, exclaimed, "This place is haunted." Upon waking up, I heard knocking at my door. It was my dad informing me that my grandmother had passed away. My grandmother, suffering from Alzheimer's, had been in a nursing home for years. I sadly rarely thought about her. As I was physically closest to the nursing home, did her spirit come to visit me? The likelihood of having that dream at the precise moment of her death seemed nearly impossible. The purpose of sharing this experience is to emphasize the concept of the non-locality of consciousness. Personally, it shook my perception, as I've always been a very materialistic and nuts and bolts kind of guy. The idea that consciousness can detach from its host still seems surreal to me. But if that's the case, aliens thousands or millions of years ahead of us in evolution would most likely understand a lot more about it.
It was almost like, and the best way I can describe this to you is, if you've ever seen one of those movies where there's a person sitting behind the security cameras and they're looking at all these security cameras on a screen, I got to see some amazing stuff that I don't even have human words for. Different planets, different realities, different civilizations, different timelines. I finally see this one orb-like energy that I felt really drawn to and attracted to, and it is basically the planet Earth. And now you have to remember, I was bouncing around all of these different places that were people's experience on Earth and also other places, right? Not just Earth, alien civilizations.
Knowing how ChatGPT uses its interactions with users to perfect itself, would it be plausible that we are living in a simulation or a universe that feeds off life to gain knowledge? Whenever I hear these accounts of near-death experiences, The one thing that comes to my mind is a video game lobby before you launch a new game. Even if that simulation is made out of love, as many testimonies tell us, the idea that we are quasi-eternal beings sent back to re-experience life from an infinite amount of angles and struggles is terrifying. Also, wouldn't discovering this very fact make life on Earth useless for the global consciousness?
It's the Truman Show!
Are some aliens monitoring Earth to make sure we keep our experiences naive and valuable? To finish this video on a positive note, I will say that the idea that we are all the same entity living through different limitations really resonates with me. As we are closing in on the holidays, try to think of that when your drunk uncle or toxic aunt says something that offends you. Give them the benefit of the doubt. You might learn something, and indirectly, we all will.